Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Cara Kurtz, and I am the Business Development Coordinator for Access, and I will also be the organizer for today's presentation. We are very happy to welcome today's presenter, Ms. Caitlin Echeverres from Greater Fort Lauderdale. She is their Senior Business Development Manager, and many of you may have actually had the pleasure of meeting her this year at our ASTA Global Convention. Caitlin has been with Greater Fort Lauderdale CVB for over 5 years now and offers a fun insight on everything Greater Fort Lauderdale. Originally from the great state of Maine, but now considering herself a true Floridian with nearly 20 years of residence in Florida, Caitlin can walk you through how to sell Greater Fort Lauderdale effectively. Before we start, I'd like to point out a few important features on your screen that will allow you to interact with us via the web. We will be answering your questions at the end of this presentation. To ask a question, you'll be using your GoToWebinar pane. Near the bottom of this pane, there is an area that says questions. If you click the arrow next to where it says questions, this will open up a window pane, and this is what you'll be using to communicate with me today. If you're having trouble hearing this presentation, please make sure that your speakers are turned all the way up. And if you've called in, please try hanging up and dialing back in again. You can send me any technical issues via the questions pane, and I will answer them via the same pane to the best of my ability. Please also note that audience members are muted. We certainly want to hear from you all, but with so many people on today's call, background noise would prove to be prohibited, and we want to ensure that everyone can hear Caitlin's entire presentation. Remember, one of today's lucky webinar attendees will win a $100 Visa gift card courtesy of ASTA, while another attendee will win a Greater Fort Lauderdale VIP beach bag and plush towel from no other than our partners at Greater Fort Lauderdale. You must be on this presentation from beginning to end in order to be eligible to win either of the prizes, and we will be announcing the winners live after our Q&A session. Finally, remember that this webinar is being recorded and will be available for your on-demand viewing at asta.org by early next week, if not the end of this week. Now, without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce Caitlin.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Cara. I appreciate the introduction, and thank you everyone who is listening today to this presentation. It is a gorgeous Tuesday afternoon here in Greater Fort Lauderdale, and I have a little bit of a cold myself that I caught this weekend when it dipped into the 60s. I just must say it. It dipped into the 60s here in Fort Lauderdale this weekend, but we're back up in our high 70s weather here. The sun is shining, and we're here to talk about some of the top trends in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Now, as Cara had mentioned, we are so fortunate to have many industry associations and events, that come through our backyard here in Greater Fort Lauderdale. So a lot of you are somewhat familiar with Greater Fort Lauderdale, but what we find a lot is that many of you are in and out, right? You come in, you get on a cruise ship, or you go to a conference, and you don't really have time to explore on your own, and you know the basics of what to recommend to your clients, but we strive to kind of dive in a little bit deeper on some of these webinars and when we do our fam trips and things like that, so that you can have, a couple more ideas, a couple more concrete recommendations for your clients, whether it be restaurants or, this topic today, top trends and things that are happening in the city, in the area. So that's what I'm here to talk about today, essentially. But we do have, a couple of things to do here. Talk about, I have some new imagery to show you today I'm really excited about. We've had some recent photo shoots, so we have a lot of beautiful pictures that I can share with you, and we're working on a toolkit as well that we can share with the travel community so that you can have more resources to sell the destination as well, with better imagery and things like that. And this picture here, I love. I don't think I talk about it in the presentation, so I might as well bring it up right now. But front and center, you can see that tiki bar, right? So that is the floating tikis. They opened actually about 5 years ago, but the story is amazing. It's this guy that came down, he retired, and built this boat on his own because he was bored and wanted something fun to do. And it has blown up. He took it out onto the Intercoastal, went to the local bar down the road and with his wife, And somebody said, oh, can you build me one? He built another one, and now it's a franchise. They have it throughout the United States, and it's quite the business that he runs there. And he's in his early 70s doing this now. But you can see a couple of these floating tikis throughout the intercoastal waterways here in Greater Fort Lauderdale. They're great. They're really fun to do instead of the water taxi, or in addition to the water taxi or the Jungle Queen, you could get on one of these floating tikis, bring your own booze. They also, they have different packages available. They have ones for groups and things like that. But it's really fun. It's unique, and it's something different. But like I said, a couple things that I'm going to show you here that doesn't change, right? Because we're talking about trendy things right now, and these are kind of some of the new things that is happening in the destination. But some things that never change will be our blue wave beaches, right? So of course, all the surveys we do, everything that we talk about, and trying to get people to go to our museums and do different cultural activities in the destination. But number one, they always want to go to the beach, right? Because most people are trying to escape, that cold weather up in the north, or and come out and relax on our blue wave beaches. So this is something we're incredibly proud of having our blue wave beaches, 23 miles of them. And then the intercoastal waterways. So the water is so important here to us in Greater Fort Lauderdale. It's really our essence. Like I said, something that will never change. We are considered the Venice of the Americas. We have over 50,000 registered watercrafts in the destination. So this is something that you're going to see every day when you're driving through the destination, not only on a boat. If you're going on a bridge, if you're walking by, you're going to see these yachts everywhere. So this is really essential piece of who we are. And we have over 300 miles of navigable waterways in the destination in all of Broward County, which we call Greater Fort Lauderdale. And then the Everglades, right? Once again, talking about the water. So, something that will never change is we have this beautiful area in the Everglades. And something that's so important, we're the only place in the world that has this unique ecosystem. And I think a lot of people forget about that. They just think, oh yeah, I can go on an airboat ride, but you can do that in many places throughout the world. But this is the only place with this specific ecosystem that we have here. So, whether your clients are here for a couple of days or if they're just in and out, if they only have a couple of hours before going to the airport, I always recommend that you try to get them on an airboat ride because they will not be disappointed. They can go out with the nature. They can see how beautiful and tranquil it is out there. Go see a fun gator. It's really something that should be on everybody's itinerary, and especially because it's the only place in the world to find that ecosystem. So we're really trying to hone in on that fact there because a lot of people miss out on that. But as I promised, some of the top trendy things that are going on, Greater Fort Lauderdale hasn't always been known for, some of its arts and culture, but it is blossoming. We have a lot more happening. This picture here is of the downtown Hollywood area, the Art Circle, and they have a beautiful amphitheater there. They have hot glass blowing there that you can do classes for. You can do something just for a couple of hours and have it shipped back to your hotel. And then you can walk around. They have food truck night. They have mural night. They have all kinds of fun things going on. And that's, just a couple minutes away from the Hollywood Beach area in the downtown Hollywood. I'm going to show you a quick video, so please forgive me if the volume doesn't come out as good. It's going to be a very quick one, about 20 seconds, but we partnered with Visit Florida and Matador Network to do this fun video, and it's really kind of showing what I'm talking about today. Fort Lauderdale really growing in this kind of unique art trend and things like that. So here we go.
Welcome to Fort Lauderdale! Favorite thing about here in Fort Lauderdale is all the unique local spots that are opening up. So I think just the vibe here is what draws me to here. Welcome to the Wonder Shop. This is my store.
Thank you. It's so cute.
I carry a lot of things from local artists.
This one's so cute.
I love that one. It's my favorite one.
And there you have it. You can actually see a lot of those videos on our social feed. If you go to Facebook and follow Visit Lauderdale, and you can look it up on our YouTube channels as well. We have a whole series of kind of mini clips like that have focused there. We also have a water one where we went out and did all kinds of different water sports, and they videoed them there. So those are some creative tools that you can use to kind of foster some interest with your clients and having them come on down to Greater Fort Lauderdale. So as I promised, I was going to show you some of these trendy areas and some of the new photos that we have here. So this picture here is down in the Fat Village, so the Flagler Arts and Technology area, which is right off of the downtown Fort Lauderdale area. And on our website, we of course have some maps and information as to how to get to this area, but it's, only about 10 minutes from the port and the airport in this downtown area. But it's really a vibrant and emerging area for the arts and entertainment. Here we have food truck night there. They have an art walks night the last Saturday of every month. So this is, a lot of locals come to this, but we also are seeing a lot of visitors that come because they want, that it's been very trendy, right? The last couple of years, really, of traveling like a local and doing what locals do. Well, this is what, where we are every last Saturday of the month. But you're going to see all kinds of great artists here, and the food truck scene. It's just got a really fun, cool vibe in the downtown Fort Lauderdale area, which a lot of people have overlooked, over the years, because we really didn't have that much going on in that area. Off the beach, it was just the beach and not much out. But now this is really, really growing tremendously. This here is one of our other local museums. This is actually the curator of another festival that I'm going to talk about shortly. But some of the art museums, we have the NSU Art Museum that's, in downtown Fort Lauderdale as well. So definitely if you have anybody that's interested in the arts and the culture like that, you can just go in a quick search on our website and we'll pull up all of that information, just, putting in arts as a search. Or you, of course, can contact me and I can send you some specific information. This is the the Stonewall Museum in Wilton Manors. This is a great archives area as well. This is open. They opened a couple of years ago, but they're getting a lot more press, a lot more people, a lot more visitation recently because of the great work of Richard Gray, our Senior Vice President of Diversity. And I'll talk about the Pride of the Americas coming our way soon as well. There you go. And then here we've got Hollywood Murals area. I had mentioned in the other picture of the downtown Hollywood area. These are some of the murals. They do a walk as well, so you can see all of the murals that have been created over the last year or two, really, in that area. And they have a curator that will talk and give you a guided tour. But you're seeing all these murals really pop up not only in Hollywood, but in Pompano and in downtown Fort Lauderdale as well. Those are kind of the three main areas. But we actually have a map that will point out all of the public art throughout the entire county. If anybody wants one, we can send them your way, and they're available on our website as well. And then, of course, we have some of our cultural centers and our performing arts center. If you've ever, come to one of my presentations or seen some of my information, I usually talk about the Broward Center for the Performing Arts, which is downtown, which has Broadway shows. We've had Hamilton, we have all kinds of great different shows there. I went, to see the Nutcracker in, December, the ballet. We had a hip hop Nutcracker, but we also have a couple of other beautiful performing arts centers towards the west area. This one, I think this photography is fabulous. It's down in the Miramar area, so a little bit west in the western part of the county, so about 35 minutes from the airport. But they have a whole list of different comedians that come through, theater as well as Lauderhill Performing Arts Center, another beautiful new theater that was built. So, more and more of these areas are becoming much more culturally diverse. So it's an exciting time in the destination. And then, of course, with the trends with food and drink, the celebrity chefs, they're coming our way. There was a time where it was really just Miami for the celebrity chefs, but they're really making their way up towards Greater Fort Lauderdale. And we have, of course, the W. Just yesterday, I was at the Nuller Meridian, which I will show some images of in a minute. But they have their celebrity chef, Richard Sandoval, I believe is his name. He opened 2 new restaurants, a restaurant and a bar at that hotel. So we have another one at the Ritz-Carlton, a Brazilian woman as well. So there's a lot more of that celebrity chefs coming into the area. And then, of course, we cannot, neglect the dock and dine and eating outside, al fresco. That's what everybody is coming to do in the destination. Be outside, be in the beautiful weather that we have, and have some great cuisine. And we do kind of call our cuisine the Floridian cuisine, the Caribbean influence here, the Latin influence that we have mixed with the seafood that we have, things like that. So that is, you're going to see on more and more menus in the area. This picture, I believe, is at Shooters, a very popular area in Fort Lauderdale that you can arrive via water taxi. This picture is a brand new restaurant that opened up in Pompano Beach. There's 2 of them that opened right on the beach in an area that really needed something like this. So in Pompano Beach, you're going to find Oceanic and the Beach House. This picture, I believe, is of Oceanic. Just opened a couple of months ago. They're going to have that Floridian cuisine, amazing atmosphere, amazing views. No Photoshop needed on here at all. It is like this. You can go there right now, and it's going to look like this, and it is fabulous. They have this amazing pie. I think it's called Fat Elvis pie. I get it every time I go, and it is so delicious. And I haven't had dessert yet, so there you go. I'm thinking about that right now. But anyways, you can have some wonderfully fresh caught seafood, but the views really are just second to none. And then talking, like I said, the Floridian cuisine more, you're going to find all kinds of different, kind of hole-in-the-wall local cuisine. A lot of people just, they don't really think of Fort Lauderdale for being so culturally diverse of what we really are. I think there's over 140 different languages spoke in Greater Fort Lauderdale and Broward County. And you're going to find, something that's different in Broward County with, our different cuisines and our different cultures that we have here, is that it's all mixed together. And it really makes our destination unique that way, because you're not going to see, like in many other cities, where you're going to have, a Chinatown or a Little Italy. You're not going to have the different neighborhoods where it's different ethnicities. But here, it's all mixed together. We're going to have Argentinians, Venezuelans, Mexican, Jamaican, Haitian, from Honduras, all kinds of different restaurants throughout the destination. And then, speaking kind of hole-in-the-wall places, this is a picture here of Le Tub. So Le Tub has been around for many years now, and it's in Hollywood Beach area, right across the street from Margaritaville, and it's right on the intercoastal waterways. You can kind of see, if you look to the horizon in the picture here, where they are located, right on the water. So the views are fantastic. The atmosphere is low-key. It's just a fun little dive bar to go to, and they're known for their burgers. Oprah rated them as like the best burger in America probably a while ago now, but we're sticking with that. They still use it, and their burgers are to die for. But the views and the atmosphere is just a great, fun place to go. And then the nightlife, right? We don't, it's starting to really take off in Greater Fort Lauderdale, our unique nightlife. It's not really about the club scene and things like that. You're going to have more, there are, of course, some of those, but it's more of these kind of underground bars and Biblioteca is one that I went to yesterday, this tequila tasting bar. You're going to find a lot of breweries and things like that, distilleries in the area. And these are just some of the images of the places that have been opening up a lot in the Greater Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, and Pompano Beach area. A lot of them have the outdoor space. They really take advantage of the destination and the views and the weather. But if you are interested, or if you have anybody that's interested in the brewing scene, the breweries, we do have our ale trail. So you can go on our website, just sunny.org/ale trail, and you can find, we have over 40 different breweries in Broward County in Greater Fort Lauderdale. So too many to talk about today, but this is a picture of one of them, and we've been kind of doing some office outings and visiting some of them. It's about 2 weeks ago, we went to one called Gulfstream Brewing, and that was awesome. The owner has a great story, and it's just delicious beer, great vibe. We also went down one called Lauder Ale, which is kind of by the port, a local Fort Lauderdale native, and opened this business. He's been open for about 5 years now, and they're brewing there. And they've got brewing nights where they have beer dinners and all kinds of just fun events. And a lot of them will do great discounts for your clients who are flying in or out that day, or show their cruise documents, and they can get a discount, maybe 10% off their check, or some type of token that they can take along with them when they go back. So a lot of them are doing those kind of promotions because they recognize how many visitors we have coming in, for the cruising and things like that. So definitely check on our website. You can go on. I talk about it a little bit later, but some of our cruise and play specials. But you can always reach out to me directly too, and I can let you know kind of what I've been hearing and what restaurants are doing what and things like that. Here's another picture of some of those other breweries. So like I said, over 40 of them. And then, a lot of the trends and what people are doing here is, has to do a lot with the sporting events and the different festivals and music that is coming into the area. So this here is a picture of the BB&T Center out in Sunrise. Our hockey team, believe it or not, the Panthers, is doing great this season. And they've been, really kind of pushing this and promoting themselves a lot over the couple of years, and it's growing. It's becoming much more a part of who we are as a destination, believe it or not. But I personally love to mention it whenever I'm talking to travel advisors, because it's also another selling tool for you. If you're up in, the north, Canada, or the northeast or central, where you have a lot of hockey, fans, definitely check the calendar and see if, when your team is going to be playing the Panthers and down this area. You're probably going to be able to find a great price to see your team against the Panthers down here, because we do have, a growing fan base, but it's certainly not as big as some of the other areas. Like I said, I'm originally from Maine, so the Bruins, when they come down here, it's pretty much a Bruins stadium. But, my father came down himself, I think last year, and he was able to get great, rink side seats for half the price or a quarter of the price of what it would have cost up in the Boston area. So definitely something to think about as another selling tool. And then this picture here, of course, is the Hard Rock Stadium, which is technically in Miami-Dade, but it's right on the border with Broward County, and it's something that we utilize all the time for selling. We've got the Miami Open, the tennis coming, and of course the Super Bowl, which is coming up in a slide or two and coming up in just a couple of weeks, as you probably know. But there's a lot of different activities. It got a lot of soccer, tournaments that are played here. So they're really doing a great job. Once they went through their renovation about 2 years ago, they've been actively, pursuing all kinds of great events and different things besides just the football to bring to the stadium and to bring in more tourism. And then this is the other stadium that will be done in March, and this is the Lockhart Stadium. So this had existed for many years. They, kind of tore it down, and they're building up again. And it is going to be the home for the Inter Miami Club. A lot of people may have heard with David Beckham. That's his team that he is creating in the Miami area, but their stadium won't be ready for many years now. And we've secured the deal to have them play out of Fort Lauderdale, the Lockhart Stadium, starting in March. And then once the Miami Stadium is open, we're supposed to have a training facility here. But they're saying it's going to be, probably 3 or 4 years at least that we're going to have the team with us. So this is exciting. And, everybody loves these new stadiums. It's going to bring a lot to the area. And then, as I had mentioned, some of these different events that are going on. Before I showed you a picture of one of the museums. I was telling you the curator for this Art Fort Lauderdale. This is something that's fairly new. I think this is the third year that's happening. It's coming right up. But definitely look for it. It's kind of short term right now. Although maybe you have some clients coming down that week in January, but it's right around this time every year, the Art Fort Lauderdale. It's really fun. It's this great art show that you go visit different mansions and beautiful homes and villas along the intercoastal waterway via water taxi and private yachts. So it's a really fun experience to go see these different art exhibits along the waterways. And then we also have the Sea Glass, a rosé experience coming up in February right on the beach. And there's more information on our website on all of these. The Renaissance Festival happens every year. So the Sea Glass, let me digress a bit. The Sea Glass rosé experience is new. So this is something that's just happening this year for right now. But the Renaissance Festival has been going on for many years. Many of you have probably heard of it in other areas. But ours is in the Deerfield Beach area at the Quiet Waters Park. And they actually offer commissionable rates as well. So if you're looking to book any of those for your clients, let me know and I can send you the information so that you can get some commission for those tickets that you sell. And then we have, these other ones. We have the South Beach Food and Wine Festival. They have a whole Fort Lauderdale series, which we call CRAVE, Greater Fort Lauderdale series. A lot of the different events are at the Ritz-Carlton, the Conrad. So definitely check out some of those scheduling. I think it's over in the top right corner. It's a little bit small for you to read, but on our website you can see the links of all the different activations. So there's about 7 different activations in Greater Fort Lauderdale for the Food and Wine Festival. And then, as I had mentioned, the Super Bowl, of course, it's coming our way. So if you go on our website, if you're looking for more information, you can go to sunny.org/Super Bowl, and we have a microsite that has been created for all the different events in our area. Of course, it's very user-friendly here, talking about, additional details, if you need transportation help, where the taste of the NFL is going to happen, where to watch the game, things like that. There are still hotels available. I was just talking with a hotelier yesterday, and he said he was actually going to go down in his rates a little bit. So you may have seen what kind of happens every year with Super Bowls is that the hotels will really block out a lot, or they're saving certain room blocks for the NFL. And then those room blocks will drop, and then they have more availability. So right now, I think that you will be able to find some availability and maybe some loosening of the stay restrictions. So some of them had 3 or 4 night stay restrictions. Now I think they're going down to 2 or even maybe 1 night. So if you need help, let me know if you're looking for something in specific. But I think you're going to see some opening up with that. And then the other huge event that we're so excited about, this is the first Pride of the Americas. Of course, there's the International Pride that happens in New York, but this is the Pride of the Americas, and it's going to be in April, as it says on here. We're so excited. It's going to have, represent 2 continents, 35 countries, and it's going to be, just amazing with all the different activations that we're going to have. We're waiting for one big headliner to be announced. It hasn't been announced yet, but there's going to be a lot going on in the Greater Fort Lauderdale, in the Fort Lauderdale Beach in specific. The next slide is a quick little video. I'm going to cut it short because it's actually a little bit longer, but I know that the videos don't come across so well on the webinars, but it is available on our website and on our YouTube channel. But just to give you a little preview, here it is. So there you have it. Pride of the Americas, definitely get ready. We're going to have the Travel Channel here. We're going to have incredible media coverage because this is a really big deal. It's the first time it's ever happening, to be the Pride of the Americas. And it's going to be a fantastic weekend in the area. It's going to be very busy. So if you have guests coming in, not for this, but you're looking at why prices are a little bit more higher than you thought, it's probably because of this. Let us know if you need assistance with anything over that time period, or if you're looking for more information, you can go as well to sunny.org/pride, and you'll find all of the information on, who's sponsoring. Of course, Greater Fort Lauderdale Convention and Visitors Bureau is a big sponsor as well, but there's, all kinds of other ones in there. And then, the trends that happen annually that, really this picture says it all when I say the trends, because look at all the people here. But the Tortuga Music Festival also happens in April every year, and it's usually the second or third weekend of the month in April. It started as a one-day festival, and now it's a 3-day festival. And if you like to be around people, come to this festival. But no, it's, we're really doing a great job, and it's so much fun with these music festivals right on the beach. The vibe, the feeling is just so much fun. So definitely, if you have any music lovers, if you have any festival, lovers that want to come to the different festivals in the areas, this is one that, is certainly recommended. It really started out as more of a country, and then it's been country rock, and now they're adding other components. I think Pitbull is one of the headliners as well. Last year it was Snoop Dogg, but of course there's all the other, really famous country rock people as well. They just announced all the schedule, so you can find that on our website as well, sunny.org/Tortuga. So you can find that, and that is right on Fort Lauderdale Beach. So all of those beaches and that main row right by the ocean, and then the Bahia Mar, those are going to be really packed for that weekend. And then this is the other picture of Riptide Music Festival that happens every year as well. This is our third or fourth year that we had it in December. So we have Tortuga in April, and then we have Riptide in the end of November, December. It's usually that last weekend, depending on Thanksgiving. When that falls is when they'll put it, but usually right around November, December. And this is a 2-day festival. I'm going to show you another quick video that has a lot of music here, but just so you can see kind of what is trending in the destination and kind of the vibe that you're going to feel when you send your clients down to one of these festivals.
We are here at Riptide to get on things.
So there you have, that's my colleague there with his face stuck there. But, I don't know if some of you may have seen, oops, I think I got out of it here, may have seen, we got some incredible footage on, I think it was Good Morning America. The Rolling Stones picked up an article about it. But one of these local young student, I think he was 16 or 17, that the Killers pulled up from the audience and had him playing the drums for their concert at Riptide. It was really great, and it went kind of viral, and it was a great beach scene. We got a lot of great footage from it. Anyways, and moving on to the other trendy things that some of these annual festivals are when I think of trendy, I think of something that's hot, popular right now, but these are hot and popular for many years now, right? It's something that we've grown over the years, and it's probably not going to go away anytime soon because they are so popular, including the International Boat Show. So this happens usually at the end of October and right around the Halloween time, and it is huge. It's like a several billion-dollar economic impact to our destination, and it's quite the place to be to see all these amazing yachts in the area. You can, buy different day pass or, the weekend pass, and you can go on and see all these different yachts, take tours and things like that. But it's definitely one of our busiest times. It's actually, we kind of call it the Super Bowl of Greater Fort Lauderdale because of the economic impact that it has. And all the hotels are full in the area. This is a great picture of how many boats that are in there, and right on Fort Lauderdale Beach. So it's certainly a great time to come out and see the destination. And then we have the Winterfest boat parade every December as well. And this happens annually. It's the second Saturday of the year. It's sponsored by Hard Rock, and it's great. If you can get a hotel, a lot of them offer different packages, like the Riverside, like the Doubletree Gallery 1. The ones that are right on the intercoastal waterways are going to have great viewing parties, and then some of the restaurants as well on the intercoastal. It's a really fun, special way to celebrate the holidays in the destination. And then, moving topics here, things that are being hot and talked about right now. This is being built, the Dania Point. This is right off of 95, in between Dania Beach area and the airport. But Dania Point, it's currently open. This is a rendering of everything that's going to be, but I think they have over 30, businesses already open. They've got a Cuban restaurant, some quick service restaurants, a breakfast place, some stores that are open, but they are building rapidly. There will be 2 Marriotts, an AC Marriott and a full service Marriott on property in the Dania Point area, a bowling area, a movie theater, but it's really being built in a lot of outdoor recreational area. This is also going to be the headquarters for Spirit Airlines, for JetBlue vacations. So they have like an office park area that they're building as well. So there's a lot of commerce, just a lot going on right there. But the incentive, of why they started building it was really the need for the cruise passengers, those cruise passengers that were staying in those airport hotels or those hotels, limited service hotels in that Dania Beach area. They didn't really have a lot to do in that immediate area. And now, boy, are they going to have a lot to do. It's going to be great, a really vibrant, cool scene to see. And that, should be finalized within the next year and a half, probably. But, they're open as they go, and they're doing different phases. And then this is another rendering of the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino that just recently opened, the Guitar Hotel. They haven't sent us new visuals because this area is actually open. So their whole little shopping corridor that's brand new is opened. I was there myself in December. Beautiful, high-end, really great place to walk around. So that it's always full, though. I mean, they are just doing a tremendous business. And then, just talking about the hotel inventory and what is new and what is coming in, we have over 6,000 new rooms being built, 38 active projects. So, we think we have a lot right now because we do. We have over 550 hotels in the area, but we have even more coming on board. This is just that rendering of that Guitar Hotel. I'm going to talk just about the ones that have just recently opened or about to open. And this just opened at the end of October. I'm sure you've heard about it in the news. I stayed there. I gave my son a treat for his 13th birthday because he's into music, and we stayed at the Guitar. It was fun. If you want to hear more about it, contact me. I'll tell you all about my little insider scoop. I think this webinar won't have enough time to let me go on and on about how cool it was, but it's great. It's a great place to go. Lots of fun, different areas. The Del Mar and the Element just opened as well, actually probably about a year now, maybe 9 months or so. This is in the downtown Fort Lauderdale area. Really cool, great atmosphere. It's a dual branded, like I said, building, brand new. The Del Mar, both Marriotts, but the Del Mar has got a really cool kind of independent vibe. They've got this great bar called Sparrow and a rooftop lounge. Tremendous views of the Fort Lauderdale area, and just a great atmosphere. And then Le Méridien, I said I was just there yesterday. This is a rendering. They don't have the professional pictures yet, but it looks just like it. And if any of you are graduates of our Greater Fort Lauderdale Sunny Specialist Program, our Travel Agent Academy, I do run a private Facebook group where I post a lot of the insider pictures, the pictures I take when I do a site inspection or if I'm with a fam, I'll put those pictures on there. So I did put a whole bunch of pictures of what the rooms really look like, which is just like this. And the headboard there is taken after the intercoastal waterways. There's all kinds of really cool, unique details in this hotel. And like I said, they just opened about 4 weeks ago. And that's, an airport hotel, but it's, 4-star. They haven't been officially rated yet, but they will be. They're striving for 4 stars. Tremendous. Highly recommend it. And then we have this one will be our first curio in the Fort Lauderdale area. We have one, of course, the Diplomat. But this one is going to be right in Fort Lauderdale Beach, a brand new build, Hotel Marin, that is not currently open, but it's being built. Hopefully it'll be finished soon. They're going to have great views. The HyattCentric will be opening in downtown. So, traditionally we haven't had a lot of hotels in that downtown area besides the Riverside on Las Olas. We have it in a Hampton Inn, but now we've got the Del Mar, the Element. We've got another Hilton, another small limited serve one, and now we will have this one. It's being built, though. It's still not quite ready yet, but more to come for sure. And I cannot not mention here, of course, our convention center, which will be closing soon, in the end of February, actually, right after the Super Bowl. And we're closing because we are doing a tremendous expansion and adding a whole new convention center hotel. It will be an Omni. So we're going to be closed for about 2 years. And so unfortunately, over those 2 years, we're not going to have some of the larger shows here, but it's all for the better, right? We're really looking forward to this new expansion. And in the meantime, the cruise business will help keep us busy for sure and keep those kind of convention center hotels busy due to the location of the port. So many of you may know about, some of the new ships that are coming in, but I'll be brief, in talking about what is new in Port Everglades for 2020. I love seeing that picture over there of the Edge to the right. What a beautiful, you haven't checked out that terminal. I love the terminal at Port Everglades for the Edge. But anyways, we have this one, Princess Cruises, Sky Princess coming our way, Carnival Sunrise. And then we're excited, we always like to have some of those summer sailings as well. We don't, we say that our cruise season is really October to May. So it's nice to have some of these summer sailings. It helps keep tourism alive in the area as well. So definitely keep an eye on these 3 ones that are coming our way in 2020 in the summer. And then just to remind you, if you haven't heard yet about Brightline, which will be transitioning to Virgin America train, it hasn't quite happened yet with the rebranding, so the trains don't look like this yet. But they're still branded as Brightline. But this is, and I see all the press releases and all the media that they're putting out recently. It's a lot. They're doing a great job ever since Virgin's come in, and really educating the travel advisors, now paying you all commission for the tickets booked. So it's still currently Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, in the downtown areas for all 3 of them, but they've added another, they will be adding 2 more stops, Aventura and Boca Raton, and then they're still working diligently on that Orlando airport one, and then probably looping up into Disney, as I'm sure some of you have seen in the news there. But we're really excited about this, about all the new stops. Like I said, we do currently have those 3 areas. Oh, and then, of course, going into Port Miami. They're working on that as well. That was announced. But if you need more information, just let me know. We can help you because it's still, people are still a little bit confused about where the stops are and things like that. But the point is it's here, it's working, we're really excited, and it's growing, and it's a great service. If you haven't been on, definitely check it out. It's fun. I love going in on it. I love using it when we go visit Palm Beach, CVB, and, visit our friends out in Miami or go down to the, one of the museums in Miami or see the Miami Heat or something. I always hop on to the Brightline myself. And we're getting close here. So I'm just going to, before we open it up to some questions, I just want to make sure that you have all of these ways to connect with us. Of course, this one, the sunny.org/travel trade, that is the page for you all to use. I highly recommend that you bookmark it because you're going to find right there front and center all the hotels that offer shuttle service, hotels that offer travel advisor rates, three ways to play in 3 hours or less, links to the port, to the airport, things that we know that you need, that will make your life better and make you be able to sell more of Greater Fort Lauderdale. And of course, you can find us on social media at Visit Lauderdale, on Instagram, on Facebook. And these are our hashtags, and on YouTube. And this here is an image of one of the new murals that we did with some artists out of the UK. They came here, we did like a fan trip with them, and then they painted about what they experienced here. And then they went over back home to the UK and they did the same thing. So they painted a mural over there as well. Pretty cool. We have a whole video on it as well, but it was a longer one. It's on the YouTube channel. I love it. It's a really fun video to watch. It shows the Blimp Ride. We took them up on the Blimp out of Pompano and things like that. But anyways, I need to take a breath because I've been talking a lot. Take a little sip of water here, but here's my name, my email, and I know that Kara will be sharing that with you as well in case you don't have something to write it down with. But that's how you can reach me, and all my information's on the website as well under Contact Us. But thank you so much for listening to me blab on for, 45 minutes here. I appreciate it, and let's see, does anybody have any questions?
Yes, Caitlin. Looks like our first question is going to be, are there any agent rates available for when our advisors come to Greater Fort Lauderdale for them to experience the area, specifically the resort?
Yeah, so it's hard for us to keep track of them all. We do send out kind of monthly requests for the hotels to log in to their partner portal for our website and log in their rates and their specials and things like that. So on that page here, the sunny.org/travel trade, we have a section that says agent rates, and that's where you can see the ones that we know about. The Marriotts, a lot of them won't load them there because they have their fantastic rates and things like that. But if there are any specific, ones that you don't see listed on there, we don't really have control of them. They put their own valid dates on there. But if you see something that's not, if you're interested in one in particular, just let me know too, and I can always make an introduction to the director of sales or the sales manager and see what can be done for you.
Thank you. And going off of that question, do you have any park and cruise deals as well?
Yes. So once again, right on this webpage here, sunny.org/travel trade, front and center, you'll see another link that will see hotels. I wonder if I press that now, if you can see it. I don't know. Does this work? Can you see that?
Yes, it's loading up right now.
Okay, so if you go here, you can see hotels with shuttle service, and this is not a PDF because it's constantly changing, but you can see which ones offer, airport transfers or port transfers, long-term parking and things like that. So most of these, right, if they are on here and if you click to these hotels, you're probably going to find their different packages that they have. If they have a long-term parking cost, they're probably going to have also one that has a package involved with it.
It looks like we have an advisor who's wondering if there's any services for luggage storage for cruise passengers.
Yes, we also have that. If you go under the airport area on this page here, and you press the airport, there's going to be a link there as well. At the airport, for the airport storage, there's a couple places in the terminals that will offer it. It's usually like a 9 to 5 kind of service. And then there's also some of the attractions. So if you're getting off of the cruise ship, a couple of the different attractions like Everglades Holiday Park, I think the Segways. Some of them will come pick you up and they'll hold the luggage for you while they do the attraction. And then also here, got something, to note are the day rooms too that we list here. Some of these hotels that offer day rooms, that can be a nice little option for you as well. And then I was at a conference about a month ago and I found out about 2 new companies, and now I need to remember it. The name of it, but they're going to be popping up more about these luggage storage companies because, it's kind of interesting. because of the Airbnb factor, a lot of people now, of course, we all know, are staying at Airbnbs. And now when they check out, they have to, check out usually a little bit earlier than hotels, which I, see as one of those deterrents. But anyways, they check out earlier, check at 10, 11, but they're not at a hotel. They don't have any place to put their luggage. So a couple of these two new companies have popped up amazingly out of Europe, but they're coming over here, and their apps, I think one was called like Nanny Storage, Nanny Luggage. I'll have to remind. But anyways, if you do a little bit of Google looking at that, you're going to find these companies that are popping up about storing luggage for you. BaggageNanny.com, that's one of them. So anyways, I ramble on. But yeah, there's more information on our website there.
Thank you. It looks like our next question is going to be, how will Pride of the Americas be different from the Pride Festival in Miami?
That's a great question. I don't have the specifics about how it's different. I think it's just what is different is our collaboration with really trying to make it inclusive to the two continents and bringing in more of the different countries and, having all the different languages spoke, having it, really focused on being of the Americas, not just a pride in general.
Thank you. And it looks like our last question is going to be, if a family only had time for one activity prior to a cruise, what would you recommend them do? And this is a family that has elementary/middle school age children.
I would go out to the Everglades and go to Everglades Holiday Park or Sawgrass Recreation Park. It's about, 25 minutes, depending on the day, the time of day and things like that with traffic, but it usually is right off of the highway to get out there. It's a little bit longer drive, but once you're on the highway, it's easy to get there. And with families, it's great. Kids love it, to see those gators, and most of them will have different animal interactions and things like that. All of our local schools, even for local children, they usually do an annual field trip out there as well, because it's so great for kids.
All right, Caitlin, thank you so much for an amazing presentation. All of the other questions that we have coming in either are for the good of the group, are giving you accolades, as well as some amazing feedback for Greater Fort Lauderdale, which I'll be sending your way. But now it is time for our anticipated giveaways. So drum roll, please. We do have 2 giveaways today, and our 2 winners are going to be Miss Nina Lewis. Nina, you are the very lucky winner of our Greater Fort Lauderdale prize package.
Yay!
And Miss Virginia Mock. Virginia Mock, you are going to be our Ask the Gift Card winner. So I will be connecting with you ladies via email, and I hope that everyone has an amazing remainder of their afternoon. As I mentioned, this webinar was recorded, so if anybody would like to listen to this presentation again, or some advisors whom this would be beneficial to, this will be on ASPA.org by the end of the week. Thank you, everyone, and thank you again to Caitlin and our partners at Greater Fort Lauderdale for an amazing presentation.
Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate your time, and hope to see you out and about, or better yet, down here in Greater Fort Lauderdale.
With the weather that we're having up here up north, I'm sure that you'll see a lot of us around Greater Fort Lauderdale, Caitlin.
All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.